Welcome back to another video, guys. So in today's video, we have a pretty interesting team. I saw two strats. Well, I saw one strat online on YouTube. I can't remember the YouTuber that created the strat, and then one of my buddies gave me this other strat with slacking. So the first strat is going to be with Armorouge, and essentially the goal is to activate weakness policy first round by using U-turn with my Dragon Pole, and then swapping out to my Indeedee to activate the Psychic Terrain, protect Armorouge from priority, get the weakness policy boost from the U-turn since I terrestrialized to the Psychic type, and then activate the weak armor boost as well. So this team that I'm playing against is my arch nemesis. My buddy Just has the same exact team, and I literally rage quit to it, but I was like, I'm not backing down from this. He's not Just, so he's probably not going to play as good as Just would. And this guy goes ahead and uses Rock Slide. So of course I flinch, which is unfortunate. He activates my weakness policy boost, but I am able to get the U-turn off. And my Dragon Pole is a special attacking Dragon Pole without attack investment, which is why I didn't kill the Armorouge. So now I was able to activate everything and get the Indeedee out. So at this point, the Great Tusk is going to terrestrialize, essentially trying to at least preserve the Great Tusk and survive. He's probably hoping to survive on like 2-3 HP, but it's not going to happen. My Armorouge is just going to go ahead and take him out using the Expanding Force, which is a pretty broken partnership here. They nerfed Indeedee and took away Trick Room and Expanding Force from her, but they essentially gave that to Armorouge, and them two paired together is just an unstoppable duo, especially when Indeedee has the Follow Me. And the Psychic Terrain to protect Armorouge from that priority and gain that speed boost. So my opponent's going to come out here with the Torkoal. Now, I make some misplays here, but I do still end up coming out on top in this match. But I make a few boo-boos here and there, and it was just a few misclicks here from me getting too excited in the match. But the Lilligant's going to come in here, and essentially the Lilligant's goal is to go ahead and use the After You on the Torkoal, but my Armorouge is at +4 now from the Rock Slide and the U-turn. He got 2 weak armor boosts, so he's able to go ahead and outspeed the Lilligant at +4, even though she has double speed with Chlorophyll in the sunlight. So that was pretty awesome to know. And then this is the misclick here. I did Lava Plume where I hurt my own Indeedee, but luckily Indeedee's fat as fuck, and she survived that attack in the sun from a stab boost at +2, so that's pretty insane that Indeedee can take a hit like that. So she is going to go ahead and survive this Eruption, since Eruption is based off the amount of HP that the opponent or user has. So since he's at red, it's not really going to do too much. So my opponent here comes back out with the Dragonite. Got tongue-tied there. And they're essentially going to try to stall out my Psychic Terrain at this point. There's only one turn left, so they both use Protect, and you're going to see both Hyper Voice and Expanding Force essentially protected. And the way I envision this is really funny because I'm just literally picturing like these massive attacks coming at the opponent, and they just have these little shields protecting them while the crowd in the back is getting like blown away. But anyway, so they're just preventing the inevitable here to try to get the extreme speed. But I do have the Follow Me on the Indeedee, so even though they got rid of the Psychic Terrain, I don't care. I'm going to protect Armorouge at all costs. And the extreme speed is going to take out the Indeedee, and at this point, my Armorouge will take out the Dragonite and Torkoal. And I went for Lava Plume here since Expanding Force will only hit 2 opponents when Psychic Terrain is up. So the Lava Plume here in the sun plus the +2 will be enough to take out the Dragonite, even though it's not very effective, and we will grab our win there. So really fun team to play out. Really fun strat to just test and do some shenanigans. It's not my own, so I can't take credit for it, but on our next match is going to be the second strategy that one of my buddies, Joe, suggested, which is, I believe it's Ability Swap is the name of the move, with Metacham having Pure Power onto the Slacking. So I see my opponent leading off here with the Murkrow, so I'm going to fake this thing out because I know Murkrow is usually going to be setting up Tailwinds and using those priority moves. So I want to take that thing out as soon as I can. And then my Masquerain is Focus Sash, and I know that I can survive at least one Shadow Sneak from the Armorouge if he decided to go for the priority attack, which he didn't. Surprisingly went for the Masquerain. So considering my Masquerain is pretty fast, I end up going for the switch here and preserving it just in case I need to use it later, as well as using the Intimidate off on the Palafin and the Armorouge, considering they're both physical attackers. So I do switch out just in case he decides to go for the Shadow Snake to take out the Masquerain, which he doesn't actually. He goes for the Shadow Snake on the Medicham, and I go for the power swap, and now my Slaking has the pure power ability, so that doubles his attack stat and essentially takes away the Truant. So now we have a pretty terrifying mon here. Unfortunately, the Drain Punch is not going to be enough to take out the Brute Bonnet here, and the Brute Bonnet is going to put me to sleep, which is pretty unfortunate because I couldn't really get to showcase the slacking strategy, but you did get to see how broken it could potentially be. I think that if I had invested in attack and given it an attack nature and attack EVs, that I definitely would have one-shotted. So I may definitely make that change considering, but mine is defense invested just so that I can take some hits with the pure power, giving it that attack boost. So I figured it can survive some hits, regain some HP. He has an assault vest on with that Drain Punch. He can regain that health, and that's essentially the thought process behind it. But anyway, so this thing ends up terrestrializing, thinking I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball in it. But I do end up wanting to take out the Brute Bonnet because sleep is a very annoying status. I don't want that to be something that impacts my team and essentially gives my opponent the momentum. So I do go ahead and pivot into the Masquerain so I can activate the Intimidate, lower the attack stat for the Armorouge, and get it in range with the Bug Buzz attack. Now the Palafin's goal here is essentially to take out the Slacking, considering Slacking is the biggest threat, having that pure power ability and able to tank some of these hits. And what I end up going for with Masquerain here, since I noticed that my opponent is heavily focused on the Slacking, I predicted he's going to go for the Jet Punch on the Slacking, that I use Icy Wind, take out the Armorouge, and then slow down the Palafin. Now, slowing down the Palafin really doesn't do anything considering he has the Jet Punch, but I figured I'd just go for the attack considering I can get some chip damage on the Palafin and also just take out the Mon all at once. So I just switch into the Medicham and then switch out the Masquerain so that way I can go ahead and activate the Intimidate later in the match and lower Palafin. I know Palafin is essentially the new Zacian at I think 160 base attack stat, with that Jet Punch I believe being an 80 base power plus that plus priority, so it's a pretty scary move. So I do bring in the Medicham to fake him out, get some more chip damage, swap out the Medicham to bring back the Masquerain, get the Intimidate off, and then here I should be able to take out the Palafin by terrestrializing my Dragapult since he is a specially invested Dragapult. But to my surprise, this thing ends up still surviving on just, I probably on 5 or like 6 or 7 HP, and just enough for him to be able to take out my Dragapult. But again, I have the Masquerain here and I have the Medicham in the back, so he wouldn't have been able to gain the momentum on me. Fake Out would have taken him out, and as you can see here, my Bug Buzz will take him out. So really fun teams. Sad that I didn't get to really showcase Slacking as much, but goes to show how strong this mon is. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.